The rain was falling, a thick silver robe over Seoul. Inside the penthouse of Jian Jungkook State, and the world was silent except for soft crackles of fireplace and the distant hum of the city below. Taehyung was curled on velvet cages, a sketchbook balanced on his knee. He was drawing the man across from him, Jungkook, his husband of 2 years. You are studying, Jungkook said without looking up. Taehyung smiled, pencil pausing. I'm not studying, I am studying. That's a different. Jungkook closing the reports, meeting his gaze. Then study harder. I want to be your favorite subject. Taehyung laughed, a warm, unhurried sound. This was their peace, their quiet, happy family of two. No drama, no fear, just love that felt like a blanket on a cold night. Then the doorbell rang. It was 10:47 p.m. No one visited at this hour. Jungkook's security team never allows surprises. Jungkook rose first, his movement calm but watchful. He pressed a button on the wall screen. The lobby camera saw a man soaked, shivering, wearing a cheap jacket 2 sizes too small. Jungkook simply turned to Taehyung, cupped his face and his forehead. Jungkook, whatever he wants, we face it together, and you and me, no fear. That was the first promise of the night. They had been beautiful once. Taehyung remembered that. He remembered a boy who laughed under a streetlight and held his hand like it was a razor. But that boy left 6 years ago. He left him standing alone in a bus station with a broken umbrella and a text message that said, I found someone richer, don't wait for me. Now Kai stood in their marble floor, dripping rainwater onto a rug that cost more than his entire apartment. His eyes were red, his hands trembled. Kai, I made a mistake, the biggest mistake of my life. Taehyung stood behind Jungkook's shoulders, not hiding, just protected. Taehyung was steady, but heart flickered. Breathe. You left me for a billionaire daughter. You said I was poor. You said I was nothing. Kai stepped forward, reaching up. I was young, stupid. She left me last month, took everything. I have nothing now. No money, no pride, just the memory of you. Jungkook did not move. He was a wall of calm, but his eyes dark, endless, watched Kai like a watch a Jungkook low coat. You are dripping on my floor, and you are upsetting my husband. Say what you come to say, then leave. Kai flinched, then his expression shifted. The regretful ex-boyfriend mask cracked, and something earlier thought a restatement. Kai laughing bitterly. Your husband? You mean the man you brought? Everyone knows, Jungkook. Taehyung didn't marry you for love. He married you because you are a billionaire. He just like me. We both chase money, silence, the kind of silence that fills a room before a storm. Taehyung felt his heart crack, not because the words were true, they were not, but because someone had finally said them aloud. The ugly rumors had heard at gala, the whisper at the charity dinners. Pretty boy Taehyung. He trapped John Jungkook. Taehyung stepping forward was trembling with anger. Don't you dare. Kai, am I lying? You went from a broke artist to penthouse, from Venom to caviar. Come on, Tae, we are the same. That when Jungkook moved, he didn't shout, he didn't throw a punch. He simply walked a stand beside Taehyung, wrapped an arm around his waist, and looked directly into Kai's eyes. Jungkook, he chose me. That's the only fact that mattered. Kai, he chose your walls. Jungkook, a ghost of a smile. Then, why does he hold my hands in his sleeve? Why does he drop my face when he thinks I'm not looking? Why does he me like I'm his last breath on earth? Taehyung breathed. He hadn't known. Jungkook noticed those things. Jungkook continued softer. Nah, you didn't lose him to money. You lost him to your choices, and I didn't buy him. I earn him every day with every good morning, every cup of tea, every time I choose him or a business deal. Kai's face cramped for a moment. He looked like the lost boy Taehyung once loved, but that boy was gone. Kai to Taehyung, one chance, just one, please. Taehyung tears slid down his cheeks but was clear as a bell. You didn't lose me to money. You lost me to your choice. I waited for you for a year. I cried until I had no tears left, and then Jungkook found me not as a but as an equal. He didn't complete me, he stand beside me. That's the difference. He turned to Jungkook, took his hand, and excused him. Please show him out. Jungkook nodded. He pressed a button. Two security guards appeared. Jungkook to Kai. If you ever contact my husband again, I won't use money against you. I'll use the law. And I have very good lawyers. Kai opened his mouth, then closed it. Then he looked at him one last time. Not with love, but with the hollow realization of a man who had thrown away gold and was left holding dust. He left the door clicking shut, and the penthouse was quiet again. Taehyung stood by the window, watching the rain turn to drizzle. His shoulders were shaking, not from cold, from the effort of holding back year of old pain. Jungkook approached slowly, like one might approach a wandered bird. Jungkook, can I hold you? Taehyung was breaking. I don't marry you for money. You know that, right? I love you. I love your laugh. I love the way you leave love notes in my coat pocket. I love. Jungkook pulling him into an embarrassed chin resting on Taehyung's head. I know. I always know, but can I tell you something valuable? Taehyung pulled back just enough to look at his husband's face. Jungkook's eyes were wet. The great Jeon Jungkook, the man who signed $1 billion deal without blinking, was afraid. Jungkook whispering, for a moment when he said, I still love you, I was afraid. I was so afraid you might still love him too. Taehyung cupping Jungkook's face with both hands. Look at me. Jungkook looked. Taehyung, I married you for a reason, not your money, not your name. I married you because you saw me crying in an empty gallery at 2 a.m. and instead of walking past, you sat on the floor next to me and said, that painting looked lonely, so do you want company? Jungkook, tears falling. Oh, you are painting the ocean and you look like a storm. Taehyung, you stay even when I push you away. You brought me soup. You learned my coffee order. You remember my birthday when I forget it myself. Jungkook, I love you, not because you are rich, but because you are you. Jungkook let out a shaky breath. Then he pulled Taehyung into air. It wasn't rush, it wasn't desperate. It was the kind of that say, I miss you even thought you've been right here all along. Taehyung finger into Jungkook's hair. Jungkook's hand pressed flat against Taehyung, pulling him closer until there was no air between them. They broke apart, forehead touching. Jungkook, I'm never letting you go. Not to him, not to anyone. Taehyung smiled through tears. Good, because I'm not going anywhere, idiot. The next morning, sunlight brought out the floor-to-ceiling window. Taehyung woke up to the smell of pancake and fresh strawberries. He stuffed into the kitchen in one of Jungkook's oversized sweaters. Jungkook was at the stove flipping pancake with intense concentration. His hair was messy. He was humming a song Taehyung had hummed yesterday. Taehyung leaning against the doorway. You are cooking? The last time you cooked, the fire alarm screamed louder than I did at that horror movies. Jungkook over his shoulder. That was one time. And the penthouse are fine. Probably come taste. Taehyung walked over. Jungkook held out a fork with a tiny piece of pancake. Taehyung ate it, chowed, and raised his eyebrows. Taehyung, okay, that's exactly perfect. Jungkook brought, I watched 6 YouTube videos and I have called your mother at 7 a.m. Taehyung laughing. You call my Oma? Jungkook sighed. She said you like cinnamon in the batter. She also said I am the best son-in-law she ever had. I didn't correct her. I am the only son-in-law. Taehyung wrapped his arms around Taehyung's waist from behind, resting his chin on his husband's shoulders. Taehyung, you are adorable. You know that? Taehyung, I am a billionaire. prefer for Mabel. Jungkook turning off the stool, turning around to face Taehyung. Only for you, always only you. Taehyung knows, then his left cheek, then his right, then his forehead, then very softly they ate breakfast on the balcony, wrapped in a silent single blanket. The city below Taehyung fed Jungkook strawberries. Jungkook fed Taehyung a piece of pancake. It was silly. It was perfect. Taehyung, can we stay like this all day? Jungkook, I cancel my meeting. We can stay like this forever if you want. Taehyung, I want. The afternoon drifted into evening. They didn't do anything. They built a pillow front in the living room because Jungkook confessed he's never had one as a child, and Taehyung had gasped so dramatically that Jungkook immediately ordered 20 new blankets. Inside the fairy lights struck across the pillow, and they lay facing each other. Jungkook tracing Taehyung's eyebrow with fingertips. Tell me something I don't know, Taehyung. I used to write you letter before we were married, and I sent them. I just wrote down everything I wanted to say, but was too scared. Jungkook eyebrow widened. Where are they? Taehyung blushing. In a box under my side of the bed. Jungkook scrambled out of the fort, crawled on to the bedside and pulled out a warm wooden box. Taehyung covered his face with the pillow. Jungkook opened it, reading one loud. Dear Jungkook, today you wore a grey suit. You look like a prince who doesn't know as a princess. I wanted to tell you that your smile made me forget my own name. Taehyung muffled. Stop reading. Jungkook was thick. Sometimes I pretend to fall asleep on the couch just so you all carry me to bed. You are so gentle, like I'm made of a glass, but with you I feel strong. Jungkook said that later on. He pulled the pillow away from Taehyung's face. His own face was wet. Jungkook, I have a box too. Taehyung, what? Jungkook, under my side. Ticket stubble from every movie we saw. From our first coffee, a napkin you draw, a heart, and a letter you brought me when you were sick with the flu, and delicious it just says Jungkook, pretty, my pretty, don't catch this. I framed that one. Taehyung burst into tears, happy tears. The kind that come from being seen. Taehyung, I love you so much. It scared me sometimes. Jungkook pulled him close. Don't be screamed. I hold the love both of us. It gets heavy. They key again. Slow, deep hands, gentle, touching face, hair. Soul, reminding each other you are safe. Too, because I wake up every morning and choosing you, then choose to me tomorrow, Jungkook, and the day after, and the day after, until I'm old and grey and still calling you are the most beautiful things I ever seen. A week later, Kai was getting shadows. The rumor about Taehyung marriage for money, Jungkook shut it down publicly, not with anger but with a simple statement on his company website. "I'm married Taehyung because she make my life worth living. Everything else is noise." The internet exploded, but Taehyung didn't care. He was too busy building a new life. They adopted a puppy. Taehyung had begged, Jungkook had pretended to for exact 5 seconds. Jungkook holding the puppy, "Fine, but you are cleaning up after him." Taehyung, "I'm cleaning up after you too if you keep looking at me like that." Jungkook snarking, "Like what?" Taehyung, "Like I'm your world, Jungkook, because you are." One weekends they cooked together. Jungkook to make Taehyung grandmother's kimchi jjigae. They learned to make Jungkook's mother honey cookies. They danced in the kitchen to all songs. One night, Taehyung found Jungkook on the balcony, staring at the stars. Taehyung whispering a blanket around them both. "What are you thinking, Jungkook? That almost missed this. If I hadn't gone to that gallery at 2 a.m., if I hadn't sat next to a cry stranger, I would have missed you." "But you didn't." Jungkook, "No, I didn't, and I am never letting go. Not for you, and not of us." Taehyung leaned up and him soft, learning full of every word. They didn't need to say anymore. Taehyung, "Good, because I am right where I belong, in my arms." Taehyung laughing in our home with our puppy and our pillow fort and our pancake. "And you always do." Jungkook pulled him close. The city glitter below, the star getting above, and I between. Two men had found each other against all the odds, like they mean it. 1 year later, same penthouse, same balcony, same blanket, but now there was a small wooden easel in the corner with a half-finishing painting of 3 fingers. Jungkook, Taehyung, and a tiny addiction, a baby side drop over a chair. Taehyung was 3 months pregnant. They had decided to adopt. He kicked or she kicked, they kicked. Taehyung, "Terry, you are going to be such a good dad." Jungkook was breaking, "We are going to be such a good family." Taehyung, "I know, because we are choose each other every single day." Jungkook, him, "Not a small that tastes like forever, deep, full of promise." When they finally, Taehyung whispered again, "Jungkook, thank you for not letting me go."